Welcome back. I'm going to be I'm going to be reassembling the fuel rail. So I've got my rebuilt injectors, and I've already put new hoses on each. It took a while to polish this up because this was horribly sort of tarnished. But polished all of the just polished everything, and I've put brand new hoses on. And I'm a bit fussy. I like all my sort of screw heads to sort of line up. It's just one of those things I like. I don't like them all over the place, and I'm always of the opinion if somebody's restoring something, and if you look and see if the screw heads line up, somebody's done a good job and paid attention to detail. It just seems a bit, for the tiny little bit of extra time it takes to make sure they line up rather than they're going everywhere. It just demonstrates that, to me, a level of attention to detail. Now, these are held on with petrol sort of their fuel pipe clamps, I beg your pardon. And I forget what these called, finials. They're a bit strange. All you do, you just dip this end of the hose into a tiny bit of oil, pop that over the injector, and then slide the whole thing together. And it's weird, it just apparently that holds it. It doesn't really seem enough, but I'm sure it is. So let me just do the first one. Just got a tiny bit of oil in this cap. I don't want to sort of saturate it, obviously, but just dip it in about 1 millimeter deep. Take one of the injectors, pop that little whatever that thing's called over here. Which way around does it go? The electric terminal to the top, and just slide this in. Apparently, go on. Ugh. There we go. Wrong way, that way. Yeah, that's the top. Okay. Apparently, that's it. Apparently that won't leak. It seems a little insecure to me, if I'm honest with you, but when you pull it, it's extremely tight. Let me just give that an extra shove just to make sure. But I'm sure it's fine. It just doesn't seem terribly, it's not like tightening something up by hand. Obviously, all the others, these clamps I've tightened by hand. So let's just do another one. It's very strange, but this is what's came with the kit, and I've seen it demonstrated on YouTube. But it just doesn't seems a bit loose, really. But well, no, I don't mean loose, but when you've tightened something up with a screwdriver, you can feel there's a lot of tension there. But I'm absolutely sure these will be completely fine. So just give it another shove just to make sure. At least you can turn them slightly if the electrical terminal is not perfectly in the right place. I'm not going to film my attempts to get this back on this fuel rail, because I do think it's going to take quite a bit of time, if I'm honest with you, fiddling about. Not least because the LPG plumbing is in the way, and I've never done it before, so it is going to be something of a fiddle, and it very well will take me an hour or so. So I'm not going to bore you to tears, and I can't get the camera in. Is the other thing. I would need the camera sort of mounted under the bonnet, and I don't have all of that sort of. I will be leaning in, and my body will be completely leaning in, and all you'll see is my shoulders and my back, and listen to me huffing and puffing and cursing. But yeah, we've got 6 on there. It looks all right. But I don't know. It's been certainly been a trial. Doing this whole thing's been a big trial. Now though, I seem to have one of these missing. 1, 2. Great. I've only got 5. That's a bit of a letdown. Unless I've dropped one, that'd be a bloody nuisance. For God's sake. Oh no, I'll take that back. It's on here. There's me cursing and swearing straight away. But there's nothing to curse about. But I'm slightly concerned. The injectors had like a little hard seal just here, an O-ring, and I've not been able to find any more. So I've got some soft O-rings, just rubber, and they should seal, but I'm fearful that they will actually roll back and end up here. And of course I won't be able to see that. There's no way of seeing in there to see if that is the case, and the first I'll find out whether it's sealing or not is after I've rebuilt the whole, put the whole thing back together and turned the ignition for the first time. So we'll find out, but it'll be an absolute bloody nuisance if they're not sealing, because I'll have to dismantle it again. There's no way of testing it beforehand. So there we go, tiny little bit of oil and the last injector on. So it does look rather nice, all reassembled. And I just go on. There we go. Okay, I think that's it. So that's it. The whole fuel rail completely polished, injectors rebuilt, everything sort of tested and stripped. All I need to do is put the little tiny rubber O-rings on the end of each injector, and I will manhandle it and manoeuvre it in. As I say, I'm afraid I won't be able to film that. My whole body is going to be leaning sort of into the car. You know, you'll see my shoulders, and that'll be about all you'll see. So there's no point in even trying to film it, because I physically won't be able to get the camera in.